Hey, what's up? Jay back with another action figure review. But before we start, if you like your reviews a little unbiased and very real, then please hit that subscribe button and check out some of our other videos because that's what we do. Now, today, we are going to unbox the Fantastic Four, or at least half of the Fantastic Four. We have two figures from the Marvel Legends line of toys from the First Steps movie. And these are the only two that I actually wanted outside of the Silver Surfer figure, which I might get later down the line. So, this is what we're going to look at today. So let's jump right into the packaging, which I'm pretty much sure is identical on both. It's very simple packaging, but I like it a lot. You have some artwork on the back and on the side of each of the characters. And on the boxes, they are pretty small. The boxes are small, but the Things box is noticeably a bit heavier, which makes sense because, of course, it's a heavier figure. He's supposed to be made of rocks, but we'll talk about that. And there's really not much else to say other than these look good. Of course, you can see the figure itself through the cutout in the open window, and the artwork is really nice and detailed. Although I don't think it's exactly artwork or any steals from the movie. Still looks good though. On the side, as you can see, there's more logos, the Marvel Legends logos, but you also have the figure's solo logo, I would call it, like the logo that represents them, and that's The Rock. But there he is, man. I really like this figure for Marvel Legends. I'm not gonna lie, this might be top 10 for me this year in my top 10 figures. It might. I don't even care that there's no accessories, uh, but we'll talk about that as well. I just like how posable it is, and I really like the paint job. They really did a good job detailing this kind of rock texture and what this rock looks like and how it feels. And as I said earlier, he is a little bit heavier, which makes sense. Maybe it's because I have no other figure that represents the Thing. This is my first, and I know that the old retro ones from back in the day are really good. You know, they're trying to recard them right now. Maybe that's why, but I think this is like amazing. It's a really great figure. And it's a movie figure, so I don't think they really have to go this hard because people are gonna buy it either way because of the movie is basically merchandise. But it's really good. I love this figure. And some negatives though, I would say I wish they did give him like a shirt option or something, some boots, because in the movie, I don't know if this is one of the based off of an earlier design or but in the movie he wears clothes like the whole time, so that would be cool. But like I said earlier, none of the toys from this line really come with any accessories. I think the Invisible Woman has her force field, but that's it. And then the Silver Surfer has the surfboard. But I'm not gonna dot points for the accessories because that's just not here with this line. But we will get into that. So he is kind of this bronze, dark gold color, a tiny bit kind of shiny. He's not the usual brighter orange I think that you would see with other Thing figures or how he looks in the comics. This paint is perfect, really. No flaws on mine. Overall, a very well done figure. His head goes up and down about that much. The ab crunch is really non-existent, but that's okay. For a figure like this, I wasn't really expecting a lot of ab crunch. Full spin on the wrist, his hands in a fist with these hands. No double joint elbow, but his upper arm or the tricep seems to like move. And I think this is a single joint on the armpit, not a butterfly, if I'm not mistaken. He has a ball joint waist, so he can move around about this much. And on the wrist here, you'll see he comes with his little communicator device that's detachable, but we'll also look at that later. And you'll see them use this in the movie. Not a lot of detail, but it's detachable. And his knees for sure though are double jointed, even though his elbows are not. You see that double joint on the knee. And like I said, you can see they really did a good job with the detailing on the paint and that blue paint specifically. The foot goes up and down about that much, and the ankle is kind of stiff, but you can rotate it and put it up and down and do all of that. Full thigh rotation. And then his waist, full 360 spin above the belt. And now, like most larger figures, he can do the splits, but it requires some finessing. You have to really get the thighs kind of spun around and the legs right. and the arms go up about this much. And yeah, so there he is. I like this one a lot, more than I thought I would. Marvel Legends for me, more often than not, are kind of on the basic side. When I'm learning to appreciate the more basic figures, not everything has to be a Mezco or a NECA, I guess, but this one did not disappoint at all. And the entire line is pretty cheap. You can get all 6 figures for like 160 bucks. All right, so next, let's look at the Human Torch. I like this box artwork a lot more than the Things box artwork. Now, of course, this figure is kind of split into 2 different purchases. You have Johnny Storm in uniform, and then you have this Human Torch actually fully torched, as he would say. I like this one a lot more than the Johnny figure. I feel they could have just made it one figure and throw all of this into one box and just give us different Johnny heads and torsos, but they didn't, so I don't know. But here we have it. Let's take a look. I like the aesthetic and execution of this figure very much. You can't see it well on camera, but the red is very cool. It's this cool translucent kind of light up plastic, or it looks like it could light up. It's very nice. They made the flame effects attached to him, and the ones on his legs and hands even come off, so that's pretty cool as well. It's a really good looking figure, man. I still like the Thing more just because I just feel like that's just a cooler looking figure and just looks more realistic, but this is good. This is really good. A lot better than I actually thought it was going to be. I'm well impressed with this line so far. Not impressed enough to go get those other figures, but this one is pretty good. We'll talk about the articulation in a bit. But as far as photos, as you can see, he has that kind of like red soft plastic for the hair that looks like it's lit on fire. And then the effects also carry out, as I said, onto his arms and then his legs. Yeah, for a Marvel Legends, and I hate to keep saying that, this is very impressive. It feels very light, not at all close to how heavy the Thing feels. This does kind of have that very plasticky, light feel. It's not as bad as Maximum Spider-Man, in my opinion. I still do not like that figure. It just does not feel good. It looks good, but does not feel like a $30 figure. This, of course, feels really good. The face, I can't say the face looks a lot like the actor that plays Johnny Storm, but that's fine. I'm not a big fan of that actor, which is why one of the reasons I don't want to go get the regular Johnny Storm figure. The eyes seem to be whited out, some sort of like just white paint, nothing too crazy. The paint on this, I don't know if it would even be called paint, but as you can see, the way the colors kind of just transition look really nice on this. Not a lot to complain. His head looks up about that much. He looks down. The neck feels a little bit loose. This whole figure has the perfect loose feeling. As I said, I compared him to Maximum Spider-Man earlier. That one just feels a little bit too loose and flimsy. This feels sturdy. And as you can see here, you get full swivel on the hands. They go all the way around. They go up and down. Of course, you can interchange them. We'll look at that. The ball joint waist, a little bit more loose than the Thing. On the leg here, the foot also kind of stiff, but it does spin around. The FX are very loose. You can pull them off pretty easily, but they're not too loose where they fall off. The knee is double jointed, looks really good, blends in very well. Full swivel on the thigh, of course, goes all the way around. And this figure will be really good for posing. The ab crunch, not great. I think for a figure this slim, the ab crunch could have been a little bit better, but it's not bad. I'm pretty sure he can do the splits, but much like with the Thing, even though he's not a larger figure, you just kind of gotta finesse it a little bit. And then he can do that, and the arms can go up about this much. And there you have it. So my final thoughts on this figure. Wow, so this one is pretty good. I still, like I said, I don't like it as much as I do like the Thing, but to be honest, taking this out of the box, it impressed me. I did not expect it. I kind of just got this one because I wanted two figures out of the line. I only really knew I wanted to get the Thing, but I'm happy that I got this one. Accessories. Let's talk about the accessories or lack thereof. You get these hands. That's about it. You get a pair of open hands for the Thing, and then you get some straightforward flying hands, I'd call them, for the Human Torch, which they both pairs look really good. They look good, but as I said, I really do wish they thought a little bit more about accessories when it came to this line. The Thing's hands are very well painted. As you can see, it's that same kind of brown, bronzy color, very well textured. Human Torch's alternate hands have more effects. These are definitely flying hands from the flying pose, but this is how you take off that FX, and then it's kind of just chilling, and you can have him just with the regular hand. I can't imagine a lot of people would do that, but you have that option if you like. Now, back to that communicator. With the Thing's communicator, it comes off pretty easily. If you'd like to get some photos of him without it on and have him in more of a natural look, you just kind of spin his little fist off just like that. Then boom, communicator comes off. This is not very done well. I don't think it could have been more detailed, especially if they're going to kind of make it an accessory. But there you have it. And then he's just a Thing standing up solo without his communicator, and here it is. Human Torch has one as well, but I think his is like more blended in with him. It's not as prominent as this one, so I didn't bother taking it off. And there they go. This is a good pairing. I like the Human Torch and the Thing together. As I said, I don't really want the other figures. I might get Silver Surfer, but let's take a look at the heights. 7 inches on the Thing, and then the Human Torch sits a little bit shorter, 6.6. And here they are with the Incredible Hulk, Maximum Hulk, and the Gamerverse Venom. Then we have the McFarlane Metamorpho and Jada Toys' Fei Long. Mezco's Bishop with that Maximum Spider-Man. So both of these figures out the gate are really good, man. They're a lot of fun to play with and take photos with, and they do feel good. They feel worth the $30 that you're gonna have to get for them. So I'm gonna give the Human Torch a 4 out of 5, and then the Thing for me is perfect, a 5 out of 5. I love this figure a lot. Just wish they came with accessories, but none of them do. Thanks for watching, guys. As usual, we're gonna have more reviews coming up. Please hit that subscribe button if you like them unbiased and real. And please check out some of these photos that we took of the Thing and of Human Torch. Be good, y'all.